Yeah, back in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's good?
All right, for all things track stars, make sure you go to trackstarswithaz.com. Follow us on Instagram, like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you download the app. Now, here's the secret for you. There's merch on the app. You can get the Trackstars hoodie like the one I have on, or the Trackstars hat that we've been rocking. You can go right now to the merch and get it, all right?
Awesome, man. So we got a special guest in the building. AI, the Anomaly, is in the building with us.
What's up? Trackstarz in the building.
Man, we are so happy you just released an album. Tell them a little bit about it.
Soul's Acrylic, man. It is a journey of poetic hip-hop jazzy vibes that paint portraits in each track. It's like walking through an exhibit. Your ears are able to take in all of the great lyricals that are happening.
Sound like you rapping right now.
Hey.
So we met AI in a really cool way. I was doing my album rollout, and we did a contest, and she jumped in that joint and just destroyed it. Yeah. And I've just been so pleased to watch everything that's happened for you since then. God Over Money. The albums that come out, like it's just been really cool to see you. How has the last couple years been?
It's been really great. I remember that contest. It's crazy, right? Like the journey, man, it's really, really crazy. But yeah, I've been enjoying these last few years. It's been very busy. It's a lot going on, not only in music, but just in all other spaces. It's been great. It's God is good, really, at the end of the day. Like God has been really, really good to me and my family.
That's awesome.
What was it like signing to God Over Money? Like, did like Bizzle approach? Like, what was that conversation like with them?
Yeah. So over the years, I've been able to develop relationships with my bros from God Over Money. We brought Biz here some years back for a show that we did here in Buffalo with my church, and Zadok, and we had these shows called the ICU, and so we brought him on, and because we respected his rapping ability and his unapologetically Christian ways in his music, and from there, I'd like to say from there, which I can't remember if it was 2016 or something like that. From there, we just grew and built, more so with like Selah and Dayton and, the others. But a few years ago, Biz reached out to me, and he was asking me some questions about, what do I do, and, what I was looking to do with music and stuff. And I'm like, I find this a bit strange. Are you trying to ask me something? What's going on? So I was like, yo, just ask me what are you gonna ask me. He was like, yo, I'm just looking to see if you wanna be part of the movement. And I was like, yo, that's dope. I didn't say yes. I was just like, wow, that's dope. Cause I wasn't looking for that to begin with. Like I was just doing music. Yo, I love music. Yeah. So he said that, and it was like another opportunity that I didn't know that was available, and so I said, well, let me think about it, but I'll tell you one thing: be ready to answer 5 million questions. And so I thought about it, and one of the reasons why I leaned towards like saying yes was because I believe in the movement first. God Over Money is such a dope movement, man. Since the inception of it, Biz has really, in my opinion, has really laid the foundation of being dope and being Christian and not being afraid to speak about things that are true and real. And I'm down for that. Like, we're like the rebels. I'm down for that. So it's definitely dope to be within this space with my bros, man. They like my big brothers.
But you kind of had like another crew. You had another crew too with Zadok and everybody. I kind of like in a New York area. I forgot the name of it. It was like a
Rebel Against the World.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just them guys, like, what I mean? To me, they remind me of God Over Money. Like just being like explicit about the gospel and like like, hey, Jesus or nothing, or this is the truth. You can take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm a die for Christ. You know what I mean? I'm martyr. You know what I mean? So you was on that line already. So it just seemed like a perfect fit anyway.
Yeah, I think so. And what's cool was that Biz reached out to Zadok and had a conversation with him prior to even coming to me and just, asking questions about, like, is she on this label? But Rebel Against the World wasn't a label. It was a support team. And we monetarily supported each other to just push and propel ourselves within a space because we believed in each other.
Yeah.
So Zadok gave him a green light, I guess.
That's dope. So, Jeremiah, you put together a little mix, right? You want to?
Yeah. Mix of the album.
All right, let's talk about this.
Is this the canvas? Well, I did bristles and waters of orchestrated hues, and this poetry birthed the Philharmonic Symphony right on the east side of the soil that they said gave no life. Paint portraits like Frida Kahlo. I bound bars with the glue. So man, grease with the ink, my loose leaf with the flu. So they catnapping off in the distance. Hey. Should I switch up on my conditions? I got need just to get up my social digits. Gotta eat algorithms that keep their interest. Grew up on the east side. Grew up with the shooters in the street fight. Always had a prove mine. Tiny but I beat up all the dudes around. Yeah. It's a struggle, but you capable. Yeah, you juggle, but you getting through. Find the strength, you gotta keep it moving. A little faith can make a mountain move. For you, the life coat for you, but ain't no hope for you if you don't reach out and take. My mother had you first, only son in the teens, then our sister to me, and she was coping through things, not the best, and I assume you've been exposed to some things. I can't imagine your perspective and the secret you keep. I see a smile on my face, inside I break. I've been looking in the couch cushion. I've been looking for some change. Yeah, I've been looking and I'm tired now. Yeah, I've been looking for some change. Can't climb all my steps. Peace when I climb it, heavy on rest. On knees when I get weak, here's my tech. In the battle with the beast and it's violent. Evil will try me, never will it bind me. Break me, shake me, it cannot take me. Tie me down to the chain link, sever them threads. With the daily, I flow bread when the tempe. Something by the wayside. When the goose come for your snatch faith in the daytime. When the night fall, those with no root get the napalm. Or the thorns come choke up on the fool when they playtime. Why keep up with a culture letting hypocrites lead? I pledge allegiance to Jehovah who we never could be. Oh, what do I evolve? Am I queen or a slave? Strip the chain, strip for change. I grip the stain and submit the change. No victim blame, I overcame all your whips and chains. You could see the pain, past full of evil aims. Hit or miss, clench your fist, I see what missiles did. Work to balance emotions and weakest moments. I fail plenty like Danny, I pick it up, keep it going. I rise late in the night, my hubby trust in my grind. I serve him love of my life, I pack the sword for the fight. I'm familiar with pain, I've been grabbed by the throat. I'm familiar with rain, I keep a hoodie and coat. I'm familiar with fiends, see some of them overdose. I'm familiar with cold, I was born in a low. Vibe with it, I be sitting on these bars sipping. Fine linen, ink spilling when I drop rhythm. Time ticking, gripping pistols, my metallic pencil. Lines given. Fasten your seatbelt. That's attached to your habits, admit that you need help. Eyes latched on a fraction of regret, but you sapped up the sweetness of giving. It feel good, ain't it? And it's funny how a hood painted a Jackson Pollock. Potluck of souls acrylic. Golden parks in my lens, all I see is my choice of weapons.
Yeah, man.
Oh, dope.
What a journey.
Amazing.
That's a journey for real.
Good stuff, man. So, all right, so let's talk about it. You kind of introduced what the theme was, but go through some of the songs and kind of explain the journey of this album.
All right, so first and foremost, during the process of creating the project, I was just reflecting on things that were happening around me. and I wanted to be sure to showcase the colors of who I am as an artist and what I feel like I'm drawn to. So jazz and hip hop, rap, but also poetry, So I wanted to have those influences kind of painted throughout the project. So I wanted to start off, like all my projects start off in my opinion, with a bang. Like I want to kind of lay the foundation. I want to roll this red carpet out. It's the exposition where you'll find out what's to come in the project, So the first track is called Acrylic, and I'm laying the foundation to showcase to you all, like, this is what's going to happen. You're going to go on this ride throughout this project. I'm going to hit you with, these sounds, whether it be the deep bass, the congos, just these different elements of sound and instrumentation, but yet like my voice is going to be that instrument as well, and I'm going to do poetry, and I'm going to rap, and I'm going to do some melody stuff. And so that was like the jumping off point, which I had a lot of fun creating. I actually created that track towards the end of the process, because one of the things that I wanted to do, because I want to be intentional with the art form, I wanted to craft a poem that highlighted every song. So in that first track, you hear the titles of every song on the project. So I had to make that, later on down the road. And so, yeah, man, so that's a track. I don't know, which other tracks would you want me to speak about?
Let's go through. So Jeremiah, in the mix, which one stood out to you the most that you think speak to?
One of my joints is I want to know. I'm gonna say the name right because in front of me, but "Gold" by Eshon Burgundy had me vibing. I love that record. That's one of my favorite joints.
It's a nice song.
Backs. I like all the singles. Honestly, the singles were dope.
Thank you.
And Preach. Grown Woman was dope too. Like, you did your thing. Like, production reminded me of, like, somebody said, "Hey, AI, I'm gonna give you Section 80 beats and not Good Kid, Mad City, but Section 80 beats and To Pimp a Butterfly production, and we're gonna make you just go do your thing on it." That's what it reminded me of a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Not like rapping like Kendrick or anything, but just the production and the feel of the production. You know what I mean? Like, it's like people don't make complete projects anymore. Like, it's like you took us on a journey with this album. Even as when I was doing a mini mix, I was like, yo, this is a journey. This is not just a put together collection of songs. This is like, I got a project for you to hear that I'm really trying to get my point across to you, and it's going to take you on a journey from A to Z. Exactly. And that's what it felt like. Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I really take this serious, and I think it's just with everything that I do. So I'm a photographer, and I'm also a curator in my city, a curator of art, and I'm working on a project right now where we're going to be curating an exhibit for 2022. And so the way that I approach art and art forms, and even when I do exhibits with my photography, there's a concept. Typically there's a concept, and then there's a curation that happens where it's like, okay, this piece meshes well with this, but this piece contrasts with this. However, it's a good contrast. And so let's exhibit these pieces together so that we give the audience or the viewer this experience where they then step back and say, oh wow, even though this is a lot different from this, it still conceptually makes sense together. So people will have to understand that's how I approach most of the things in my life, but especially music. So that's why I crafted the project in the way that I did.
Yeah. You see it like an art gallery, and each piece, fits in the room that it's supposed to be in for a reason. The colors, the topic of the piece. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I went so far as to, I created a color palette. I picked specific colors, and I named them. I have, most of the names of the colors are my family, my husband, which I call him Juju. So he's a color in it. Gold is the color which I named Latifa, which is my mom, my adoptive mother. So she's in there. My daughter, we call her Bella. That's a color. So even throughout the graphic work that's out there, the rollout, the stuff that you saw in the singles, Relentless or whatever, when you see those colors, those are the colors that I chose for this project, period. It's like everything, it was important for everything to be intentional, so that it could be a collection of like some dope art. Even the single graphics have my photography. It's my original photography plus, this artistic splash of paint,
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
I think you got a movie in you, AI.
Oh yeah.
Because the process you went through for this album is basically what you would take to, make a movie.
I'm a creative director. I can't help it. I get, like, everything has to make sense, and you got to be intentional about what you do. Like, really, like what the Bible talks about, anything your hands find to do, you want to do it in excellence. You want to give it your all, like all in. And so if I'm going to put out a project and I'm going to put my time, energy, effort, funds, and all this stuff into it, I'm not going to have behind it. I want to make it like, I want to make it all of who I am, So that's what I did with this.
So I have a question for you. Have you sought out placement for this particular project? Because I could just almost close my eyes and envision it getting placed on movies and commercials and everything like that. Have you sought that out?
Yeah. So me personally, no, but we got the team, working on that.
Okay.
And they're working on it on my behalf. But yeah, such a clutch is getting your songs placed. I got one of my songs from last project placed, and it was like, it's a whole new world out here. It was like, oh, y'all just want to play this much of the song and y'all want to give me this much? All right, I'm gonna just create music just for the sole purpose. This it's a nice lucrative stream of income, So definitely looking to do more of that.
That's really good.
I have a question real quick. What do you think about the resurgence of New York hip hop in Buffalo? Because I mean, of course, we got you, but on the mainstream side, of course, you hear about Griselda and what they're doing and everything like that, and that's bringing back the essence of New York and stuff like that. So, what do you think about that? What's going on with that in the whole situation?
Well, that has never left our space. This is how we rap over here. I think what happened was, different styles come in and then they take precedent for a while. And then I think it's just a matter of us going back to where we started, with being intentional about bars, working hard to, elevate skills when it comes to double entendres, metaphors, being witty with your words. I think that's basically what we're going back toward, and not to say that what we're listening to now or what took the precedent doesn't do that.
Sean wants you to say
but not it doesn't do it as much. It doesn't do it as much. It's not the same.
Yeah.
You lose that sense of craftiness, which I feel hip hop at its core. It was to be crafty. Like, we're being crafty with our bars. We're being intentional. That means we have to be wordsmiths, and in order to be wordsmiths, you have to read. You feel me? Or experience life and have something to talk about. Whereas, some of the music that I hear, quite frankly, it's just like, that's real easy, and I could easily do that, but it just wouldn't hold weight. Like, I'm not saying anything,
Yeah, and it's just interesting that it's coming from upstate New York. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like, in essence, coming from New Jersey, being from New Jersey, and growing up on a New York sound, it doesn't feel like New York City is still in a transition type, like trying to identity self. But upstate New York got the blueprint from the essence of New York City, and it's like we're doing it up here, and in the city, it seems like it's just like we still trying to figure out what to do. You know what I mean? Like we try to use this sound, we're gonna use this sound, we're gonna use the South sound, we're gonna use the Pop Smoke sound, but it's like you're losing the identity of who you really are. Whereas upstate New York is like, we know the identity. This is what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Right. And that right there is why I go so hard to speak about like being your authentic self, because that's so trash to be in a situation in which it's like, oh, we're trying to figure out like, oh, okay, let's do this now. Oh, okay, well, people are doing this, so let's do this now. And so you're doing all these things and then you're losing you. Like, we just want you. We want who you are as an artist. Like, imagine me not doing what I just did. Yeah. Y'all wouldn't be able to experience something that's like artistic. Yo, I gave you me, and I'm artistic. I'm mom. I'm a wife. I wanted my project to showcase that, and so then I want it to be jazzy. I love jazz. Should I not choose to do jazz because no one else is really doing that in a hip hop space? No, I'm gonna do it. Poetry. Should I not do it because no one really does that? Nah, man, I'm going to do it because that's who I am as an artist. And if I do anything other than that, then I'm not AI the Anomaly. And I'm not giving you my authentic self, which can be a risk, right? Because it's like, I don't know how people were going to take this. I know what people are listening to and what gets a lot of noise and what gets a lot of attention, but do I allow myself to step back and be like, well, everybody's honed in on this style and everybody's honed in on this style. Well, let me, do that too, because most people are listening to it. Then it, like, that's not fair. That's not fair. Like, imagine, like, I'm not doing that. It's risky, but hey, I'm willing to take the risk. Everything we do is a risk. Yeah. So it's a risk I took. And it was highly supported in my camp, which that's so fire to me. God over money. Everybody supported me in the way that I wanted to showcase myself. Nobody was like, well, we think you should probably do this because this is what's going to get more attention, or this or this and that. It's like, yo, do you, and we got you, sis. That's how I felt.
I love that.
That's awesome. So tell them how to find it, how to find you, support this young lady. She is amazing. One of my favorite rappers. If you saw earlier, she did one of these. That's what she means by style, like being able to flow through a beat. She even did it with her head. She was like, people don't do this no more. You know what I mean? They don't float on beats like that no more.
You know what I mean when I be like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. Even so tell them how to get it. Tell them how to find you.
Yo, y'all can find that on all streaming distribution sites, Spotify, iTunes, all of those. What you can do actually is just go to aitheanomaly.com, and that's like my house. And then you can go to my lodging spaces, right? IG. You can go in that bio and click the links, and it could direct you to where you need to go from there. But aitheanomaly.com, or on social media platforms, AI the Anomaly, and you can find me from there. But for those of you who experience the work and you feel like, man, I want to support her to another level or another extent, I'm on Patreon. And the purpose of me creating a Patreon page is because I wanted to be able to give people an opportunity to support me in a way in which I can support the next generation of creatives. So I work with young people in my city, and I'm giving them resources and tools and things like that in order to propel them into the spaces they want to go into as young artists. So we create videos, we interview young people. I'm creating curriculums and designing programs to help young people develop their skills in photography, film, and other things. And so that's the space that people can support me. Honestly, everything that I do really is the jumping off point for that, So if you want to support me, definitely go to my Patreon page, AI the Anomaly, which you can find a link in my bio.
That's awesome. I love everything you're doing. I vibe with everything you're doing. It's amazing. So support. Thanks. Go get the album. Go buy it, man. Go buy it. Stream it. Buy it, and then stream it again, and then buy it again. All right, you in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.